We didn't become snacking experts without knowing a thing or two about popcorn and pretzels. Today we try some new versions of these classic snacks and play gatekeeper in their quest for glory. You tried it! You tried that. I'm Nick North with our pals Chad Hancock,
Howdy.
Nick Geiger.
Hey there.
All right, boys. Spelling bee. Did you guys ever win your class, school, regional, any level of spelling bee?
It wasn't an official spelling bee, but we did have a thing that my sixth grade teacher would do that my second grade teacher would do sometimes, where it was like a game where she would. I don't remember the exact rules, but my memory is she would have two kids stand up next to each other, next to like one of the kids' desks, right? And then she would like have them spell a word, and then whoever like spelled it right, I don't know, like more quickly or something like that, got to move on to the next desk.
Yeah.
And like a kid would go all the way around the classroom.
We
And
did
if-
that with like multiplication facts.
Mhm.
Like you hold up a multiplication fact.
Yeah,
card.
yeah. She should do it with math too. And like, yeah, and if you get all the way around the room, you win. But there was only like 3 kids in the class that ever won, like
Right.
me and these 2 other kids. It was always like down to one of the 3 of us. And so that must have been like the most boring, demoralizing shit for everyone else in the class. Just sit there and watch the 3 nerds do math or spelling for an hour or whatever.
Yeah, I think they stopped doing that sort of stuff, like because it demoralizes. But I don't know why. Because
Hmm.
it's not like they stopped playing basketball in gym because like the nerd can't shoot, you know. So like, give everyone their chance to shine.
Yeah, we had spelling bees. I remember. I remember I thought I was going to win. I did not. I got knocked out in like the final round by Handkerchief. That was in like 6th grade. And then we had.
Oh, my handkerchief. I thought there was like some kid named Handkerchief.
I got knocked out by Hank Kerchief. We.
I just really had
Good
to
old
blow
Henry
my
Kerchief.
nose, and they thought I said a different letter from when I actually said a chew.
We all had really
Did
weird
you say
nicknames.
you? A you? No, there is no you in the word. No, I said a chew. You get the fuck off the stage.
Fucking Frankie Snotrag over here knocked me out of the. No, we had a. Did you guys ever play math baseball? It was like a huge thing for us in
maybe.
3rd grade, where like you go you line up in teams, you line up in a row, and you come up, and then it's like you versus someone else, and they hold up a flashcard, and whoever gives the answer faster, you get. Like if you're on offense, you get to go on first base or whatever, and then like you have to try to hit, and then the other team has to try to answer first to get 3 outs. And I was as good at math baseball as I am at real baseball. I was really fucking awful. But there was this one kid who was like the fucking superstar of math baseball. He was really good, and I was like, I hope Kevin's on my team. Like everyone wanted. It was like Kevin's fucking peak in life, probably. Being the greatest player ever in fucking 3rd grade Saukville Elementary math baseball. But it was like every Friday we'd clear out. It was like 2 hours, and then we'd have a party after. It was a lot of fun.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I played real sports, you fucking nerds. I did. One baseball we did play was M&M baseball. Did you ever do that where like you pick out the color and like green was a single,
Nope.
brown was a double?
No.
I'd be too busy eating the M&Ms. They'd never make it onto the playing field.
What color was that? I don't know.
I don't know. They all look like my stomach acid.
They're going to
now.
be brown soon.
I was doing laps around the classroom. You were doing actual laps around a field.
Well, if it wasn't for Hank Kerchief, I could have wanted to be a state champion.
I could have peaked in 6th grade if it wasn't for Hank Kerchief. It was my life's towering accomplishment.
I do actually remember one time, Novak, you telling me how you went to the state finals with your baseball team, and it was like bases loaded 9th inning, but then you got and you had the chance to win the game, but you got struck out by the pitcher handkerchief. And you were like, oh, we would have won the title. I got taken out by a handkerchief.
He was a multi-sport star.
After Hank strikes me out, he like waves his kerchief. So long. Damn it, Hank.
You thought he was going to throw a spitball, but it was a snot ball instead.
Well, the most recent spelling bee went by. I don't know if you've ever seen when they'll actually on ESPN they'll play that Scripps National Spelling Bee.
Right.
Yeah.
And a 14-year-old won it.
Charlie Brown lost that one time, right? He came in like second place or something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. Move on.
Yep.
I know that's an episode, but what did Brown have to spell?
Oh, fuck. I don't remember. Yeah. All I remember is the I Before E song or whatever, and him like dancing around to the letters.
So the word he won on, the winning word's always popular, is Samophile. All right, let's see who can get closest with Samophile.
Which of us can spell it?
Or define it. Oh.
Okay, yeah. Can you give me a definition? Isn't that one of the things you can ask for?
It means an organism that thrives in sandy soils. It is Greek.
So not Anakin Skywalker.
Oh, wow. Dude! But you said Samophile, not Sanophile.
Right, Samophile.
All right.
And again, I'm just reading that. That might be a pronunciation.
All right, can you spell it in a sentence for me?
Chad, let's see. You give it a shot.
All right, here we go. SAM MOPHILE.
Okay. Geiger, what do you think? Ditto.
Yeah. I'll go just to be contrary. SAMOFILE.
So Chad was actually very, very close.
Yeah. I mean,
he had everything right. You had the two M's, but it does start with a P.
Oh.
It's PSA.
There's a silent P
MMO file. Right.
Oh, fuck.
Oh.
I said that first P. You just the audio cut out on my microphone right at that second, so that's why.
Yeah.
Handkerchief.
What?
Handkerchief, weirdly enough, was arrested later for being a Samophile. Yeah.
All right, I'm typing. What word did Charlie Brown lose the spelling bee? Charlie Brown was eliminated in his spelling bee for misspelling the word maze. Maze, while thinking of baseball legend Willie Mays. He spelled it Mays. Is that true? That can't. It couldn't have been Mays at the very end. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
Well,
that's what happens when Brown was a jock. When he enters the spelling bee.
Oh no, that's early on. At the very end, he spells several words correctly: fuss budget, disastrous, and incompetent. But he is eliminated when he accidentally misspells beagle, which is Snoopy's breed.
Hold on.
BEAGEL instead of LE.
Fuss budget? Is that even a fucking word? That sounds like...
let me look up the definition of fuss budget. It says...
How much money you can afford to fuss.
No, it's just a fussy person.
Yeah, no, I know what it is, but is that... I've never heard that word outside of Charlie Brown.
Why'd you ask if it was a word?
Well, I mean, like... Because I've never heard anyone say it.
Is that a real word, this word that
country.
I've used and heard
I've never
and
used
read
the word
before?
Fuss budget.
Is that a word?
You know who's a real fuss budget? Ain't Kircha.
All right, so let's see if we can get some of these snacks rated. We've got 3 snacks.
Pretty sure we can manage.
I don't know what sentence I was going to say. You got halfway through the sentence and you're like, where am I going with this? I got to talk about rating snacks.
Let's see if we can fuss these snacks budgets.
We got 3 snacks. You rate them on a 5-point scale. I love that, like that, indifferent to that, dislike that, and hate that. Let's start with the Pina Colada popcorn. So you guys have the bag, so why don't you tell us what brand and everything?
Am I the only one with the bag? It's a giant bag.
You have the bag. It's easier to ship it to you.
Yeah, so this is Lesser Evil, a huge fucking bag of popcorn.
Yeah,
Lesser Evil popcorn, Pina Colada with organic coconut oil. It's got a nice little picture of a relaxed looking Buddha on the front and a big ass pineapple. Back by Pop, You Lured a Man.
Oh, I see what they did there.
You guys like pina coladas?
No.
I also do not. I don't love the pina colada flavor.
I don't really like anything with tequila. I actually had my wife. Do you make a pina colada with tequila, right? Or no, rum? One of those two. I don't like either one. I
don't even like it's something that appears in
yeah.
foods and candies, the flavor. And I don't even like the generic flavor of it.
I mean, it just means pineapple, right? Like this popcorn doesn't taste like rum.
But a pina colada is like an alcoholic drink.
Yeah, I understand that, but I mean, like when it's in a candy or a popcorn or whatever.
Right.
Right.
I suppose. Yeah.
So it definitely got a little sweeter taste.
Yeah.
What is in a pina colada?
We're doing a lot of Google today.
Google things all episode. Coconut cream, white rum, pineapple juice.
Wow, gross.
Coconut and pineapple. All right, Geiger.
Yeah.
What do you think of this?
I like the texture of the popcorn. It's appropriately like crisp-ish for bagged popcorn, which is usually a problem. It's not like fresh, but it's better than normal. But I hate this flavor. I don't like sweet popcorn. Like I don't like kettle. Well, I shouldn't say hate. Hate's a strong word. I don't like kettle corn. Like we've talked about this. I don't like sweet popcorn, and I don't like pina coladas. I do like pineapple. Actually, I don't mind the pineapple a little bit because I can't eat pineapple anymore. I don't think, but it's just weird. It's like a real slight hint of sweetness, and then regular salty popcorn after that. This isn't terrible. This could easily be something that's way too sour and sweet and just tastes like fruit, but it doesn't. I'm really torn about this. I'm gonna just stick. I'm beating around the bush a little bit. I'm beating around. Yeah. I hate the flavor. Actually, it's not bad. I will give it.
Stop being such a fuss budget over this.
I am sorry.
Fuss bucket.
Fuss bucket. Budget.
Yeah.
Fuck you know what? I can't decide, so I'll be a regular old fuck bucket and give it an indifferent. I'm just going to go right down the middle. I don't think it's terrible. I don't want to eat a lot of it, but I kind of like the pineapple flavor the more I eat it. It grew on me.
Chad?
Well, I'm on record as being, first of all, not a fan of popcorn, but especially not a fan of bagged popcorn. It gets stuck in your teeth. I don't like how sort of soft and spongy it is. This is no exception, and honestly, this pineapple flavor is really not doing it any favors. I mean, pineapple's fine. You know, I like pineapple. It's all right. My biggest complaint about pineapple is that it just is such a pain in the fucking ass to cut it up. You know, if you get a whole pineapple or whatever, it fucking sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Takes forever. But the flavor's fine. But I don't know. Here, it's not doing anything for me for this popcorn. I am giving this a dislike that.
I align a lot with what Geiger said in that I'm kind of torn. I do like this better than I thought I would. There's no doubt about it. And I think that's probably because it's not overly sweet.
Right.
And it's not overly tasting like pina colada flavor.
The best thing about it is it doesn't taste like what it's supposed to.
That is exactly true. Because I generally don't like kettle corn. I don't go for sweet popcorns. But this isn't too bad. I've kind of been going back and forth to get more. But it's just nothing to write home about. I think I'm going to agree with Geiger on the indifferent to that. So 2 indifferents and a dislike. Let's do the other popcorn.
Get it out of the way.
Yeah, popcorn.
This same brand, but this is the watermelon hibiscus.
Okay.
Yeah, this also has big Buddha on the front, but this time there's a watermelon instead of a pineapple, so that makes sense.
What other food do you find a hibiscus flavor in?
Probably just tea, right?
Yeah, I was going to say
isn't
drinks.
There hibiscus teas.
I bet you there's some hard candy or something, like a hibiscus. Not a Jolly Rancher, but
hibiscus lemonade, maybe.
I couldn't tell you what it tastes like though.
There are very light, reddish, purplish spots on here.
Yeah.
To kind of make you think of watermelon, but I'm sure as hell not tasting any.
Geiger, famously, you hate watermelon.
I don't like watermelon. But does this taste like watermelon?
No.
Not really.
It tastes more maybe like watermelon candy.
Yeah, it tastes like fruit.
Which doesn't really taste like watermelon.
All right, Chad, you're going to be up first in this one.
Yeah. I definitely like it more than the Pina Colada one. And when it first started, I was kind of digging it, but as I like ate a little bit more of it, I was like, oh no, like the consistency isn't good, and the flavor sort of starts to wear on me anyway. Started to wear on me over time. It just tastes so fucking artificial. I do like this better than the Pina Colada, but I am still gonna slot it into a dislike that.
I like this one decidedly less than the Pina Colada. There's just no discernible flavor. Just kind of they've removed the salt and put a very light fruity flavor to it. At least I thought the Pina Colada one was a bit more interesting. There's no way in hell, like if I had to eat this and start guessing flavors, it would be so long before I got to either watermelon or hibiscus, right? So I don't really get it. I'm gonna give it a dislike that.
I mean, you could tell me something's hibiscus, and I'd still be like, "What's the flavor of hibiscus?"
I could eat a flower.
I couldn't tell you the difference in taste between a hibiscus or a handkerchief. Not one.
You could ask me to spell hibiscus, and I still couldn't tell you what it tasted like.
PH. Yeah, I agree. Novak, you hit it on the head when you said no salt. So this is like the flavor itself is fine. Both of them are real faint, like fruit taste. It doesn't taste like watermelon, which was actually the thing I thought I'd hate most about it. But so that's, problem solved. Check that box. But it's just that there's no salt. It's all like you'll get a lot of pieces that just taste like stale popcorn. And then one piece will have like a bit of tart fruit flavor, but no salt at all. This is a dislike that. This isn't great.
All right. So 3 dislikes on that one. An unwelcome visitor. The Pina Colada popcorn still in the lead. Very beatable score. All right, segment time.
Wow.
And boys, what do you think that let's say I dropped you into the wilderness.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like you'd have a good chance of surviving? Like, do you have any outdoorsman or woodsman-y skills?
I mean, you've met me, right?
Like I'm not ashamed to I'm not ashamed to go to the bathroom in the middle of the woods, so that part wouldn't be
What a woodsman. Look at that fucking pioneer over there just pissing in a lake.
Look, I will wipe my ass with any nearby leaves. It's fine.
David Crockett, well known for his famous forest shits.
He pissed so hard that raccoon skin came right off. He made a hat out of it.
Today's just going to be a new segment.
Yeah.
We're going to call You Tried Dat.
Wow.
And I'm going to read off 8 different survival tips. Okay, these are real tips that people have, survivalists have provided. And you're going to choose on a scale of these 3 words, either the top one, thrive, as if this particular tip would help you thrive in the wilderness. Okay. Survive is the middle one. Of course, you have this tip and it might work, might just keep you alive. And the final one is deprive. This tip would deprive you of life as you would die.
So are you going to give us, so you're giving us the whole scenario or just the tips?
I'm giving, I literally thought about, I'm like, I could either call this
I was literally
segment,
just waiting for that whole...
You Survived Dat, or I was possibly going to call it just the tips.
Which makes no sense in
It
context.
seemed unnecessary. It's fairly adjacent to Geiger's hack segment. All right. First tip. This one's sort of a basic one. When when you need to go to the bathroom, so this one's right up your alley.
Oh man, I guess I lose.
All right. Whew, I'm ready.
I recommend you walk at least 100 yards away from your camp before doing so.
Mhm.
While an animal such as a bear may be attracted to the smell and wonder what it is, an animal such as a wolf or a mountain lion may think you're embarking on their territory and want to cover your pee with their pee. All right, so that seems like, maybe an okay tip.
Yeah.
So, Chad, why don't you start? You think this one's going to be pretty helpful?
Do I think this will be helpful? What I'm worried about is, I run in like in the middle of the night, right? I got those like midnight shits or something,
Oh, yeah.
and I'm trying to get 100 feet away from the campsite.
Ate a bad hibiscus the night
Yeah.
before.
Remember when Davy Crockett had chili night at the Alamo, and he was like, "Oh, I gotta get out of here."
But look, I have recounted my stories in the past of me having to shit in the middle of the night while camping, due to some nasty mushrooms.
Mhm.
So
Did you walk 100 yards away?
100 yards? No. 100 inches? Yes. Well, we had like, it was a campsite, so there was like a designated like outhouse or whatever you're supposed to go to.
I'm picking an asshole size amount of zipper coming out of the tent and just shit shooting out of it.
Just a perfect circle with a shit ring.
Yeah, the bears were coming over to investigate, and so like I launched it in an arc and landed at 100 yards. Yeah, so that's my only concern is like, getting lost, trying to find the shit spot or whatever. I had heard you're supposed to like, shit really far from the river. Like you don't want to shit near the river or whatever.
Because that's where bears are?
Pollute the townspeople's water.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I don't want the locals to be sipping up my remains. So
you do have to rate it though.
Yeah. I think this one's in middle of the road here. I will give this a survive.
Geiger?
So, yeah. So this is at night or during the day or whenever? It doesn't have to be at night?
Whenever. You got to walk 100 yards. That's pretty significant.
It's a significant distance, and I do think what Chad said is like, I would get lost. Like, I would not find my campsite back. So I'd have to, like, set a forest fire so I knew where it started. Well, the wolves can't get me if I burn them all down. No, but because, like,
follow the charred corpses.
So the theory is that you shit far enough away so that the wolves aren't attracted to the smell of your shit? Okay.
Well, they're going to be attracted to the smell of your shit anyway, but
Yeah.
they're going to find
Everybody
the shit.
loves the smell of Geiger's shit.
And they're going to find the shit and then not also find your shit.
Oh, right. Yeah, like deke them out. Okay.
Yeah.
You don't know where the shit is. It's like, I'm going to Kaiser Soze this shit out there. They're going to fucking...
Wake up in the Alamo, there's like 30 bears. God damn it, Crockett.
there's like 40 bears ringing the Taco Bell I just visited. Like, where is he? I don't get it. I saw him go in. He had to come out somewhere, right? I blew a hole in the floor with my shit and I crawled out the sewers, Andy Dufresne style. Yeah, I think thrive it. That makes sense. Get away. I think I could be okay if I just pick a straight line and I like broke a bunch of branches, like to guide my way back. Oh, look for the broken twigs. If I just took a little poop, no, that would lead them back. I'll just have to fart on the trees so I can smell myself all the way back. See where all the
Fart
wilted
crumbs.
flowers happen. Yeah.
All right, next one. It says, never approach a kangaroo standing in water. They are not drowning or in trouble, but if you go after them, they will try to drown you.
Whoa.
I mean,
right. I don't know if you ever had the thought to save a drowning kangaroo.
especially one standing in water. Whoa, look at that. Look at that kangaroo standing in a shallow puddle. It must be drowning.
Yeah.
Oh, hell. Shitty acting kangaroo.
Wait, hold on. The kangaroo's talking? Oh hell! I might save a talking kangaroo so I can make millions of dollars.
Uh-huh.
Hold on. So,
It's gonna fucking drown you before you.
so wait a
have a
minute. The
chance.
tip is don't help a drowning kangaroo.
Yeah, he's playing possum, I guess. It
He's
says
not
trying to
drowning. He's just standing in water. Just like he's up to his waist in water. He decided
Yeah.
to piss here to cover his tracks.
What's the tip? Stay away from the kangaroo. I don't understand the tip.
Don't try to save him.
But does he need saving if he's just standing there? I'm just picturing him like this. And you're like,
Same.
looks fine to me. I
It
don't know.
literally was copied and pasted. Never approach a kangaroo standing in water.
He's just standing there like, anybody want to save me? I'm not going to drown you.
Yeah, I mean-
I'm not going to drown you. Come on, come
Is
save
it
me.
quicksand we're worried about? I'm
He's in the middle of a puddle. He just shoves your head into the water,
That's what I'm thinking.
holding you there.
So what? It's like a trick to drown me so it can eat me or something? Like, what's the point of drowning me?
It's just it does say they will try to drown you to defend themselves.
Defend themselves.
It's probably like taking a bath or something,
Okay.
and so it feels vulnerable, you know.
You looked at it naked.
Yeah.
Who sees a kangaroo just calmly sitting in water and thinks, I better go interrupt that to go save him? Now, like, what if he's yelling, help me, I'm drowning?
Uh-huh.
It's probably
Okay,
rude.
you're up first.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to think. I mean, I don't think my instinct would have been to go anywhere near a kangaroo in the
Yeah.
wild. Also, because kangaroos will fuck you up.
Mhm.
Not specifically by drowning you. What are they going to do? Grab you? And their hands are this big. What are they? Like they'll kick me and I'll die.
Yeah.
So not a good tip.
Nah, I mean, no. I'm gonna what's it? Deprive. I'm gonna deprive it. I'm gonna deprive this
Deprive this kangaroo of help.
help.
Chad.
Yeah, I mean, you know, your first tip off here was that the kangaroo had like, you know, candles all around the puddle, and it was like reading a romance novel, and rose petals everywhere. Just, you know, relaxing for the night. A nice bubble bath. I saw a kangaroo in the wild. When I was in Australia, I went for like a run one morning, just like out in some country road or whatever, and the road had 6-foot high fences on either side of it. And I'm just like running down this road, and I just see this kangaroo probably like 100 yards ahead of me, you know, shit distance ahead of me. And it was just coming across the field. It was coming across the field, and like it was nothing, hopped over the fence into the road, like 2 hops across the road, and then hopped over the next fence. Like it was ain't no thing. And I'm like, all right, that is an animal that I will never go within, you know, 10 feet of. Like, that thing will own the shit out of me. So, yeah, this is a bad tip. Deprive.
Did he stop in the middle of the road and turn to you and stare? He said, "Come watch me drown."
He stopped and stared at me and, like, took a quick piss and then stepped into it and said, "Want to save me now?"
Mr. Hero, you.
Kangaroo needs saving.
All right, next one. This one says came from an old U.S. Army survival guide that was given to a cadet at West Point.
Oh, okay.
And it's about how to catch and kill a beaver. All right, This is an actual beaver.
You don't have
you're
to
on
tell
shore
me
leave
how to
or
catch a
something.
beaver, Novak. Okay.
Once your boat hits port, you get off and go to the local bar. No. It says, wait for the beaver to come onto land, then club it, drop kick it, hit it with a rock, or catch it by the tail. It is a sturdy animal, so if you catch it by the tail, swing it in a pendulum motion until it begins to relax, and then swing it against a tree or the ground.
What the fuck?
So you got to swing it until it. You're not just immediately going to whack it on a rack. First, you got to
Yeah.
lull it to sleep, and then
Spin it
crack
over
its
your
skull.
head like a helicopter.
I'm just picturing some guy in full army fatigues just windmilling this beaver around for 20 minutes.
Drop kick it.
Yeah, what's with the
Playing a
drop
lullaby on your harp.
kick? Climb a tree, get out, throw a missile drop kick at the beaver's head. So they want
Do an E Honda style 100-hand slap.
So they want you.
Double arm DDT and
So they want you to pick it up. So let me get the steps. Pick it up by the tail. Is that what we're saying?
yeah, if you can get it by the tail, that's the preferred method.
Which I assume is hidden behind all the fucking claws and giant teeth, which is part of the problem. Pick it up, smash it on the ground, and then punt it as far as you can, and then go track it down and pick it up again. Why wouldn't I just do the pendulum?
No, first you swing it like a pendulum until it relaxes.
Oh, right.
Nothing more relaxing. You know, I don't know if you guys ever been like grabbed by your feet when you were a kid and swung around or something. Nothing more relaxing than that.
But apparently, eventually, it's just gonna think it's like on a ride, and then right at the right when you finally get its trust, you crack its skull open.
Oh, I didn't know they built a roller coaster here. It says to itself.
This fucking snarling beaver is just gonna lull itself to sleep. 20 minutes of me swinging. It's probably like heavy as fuck. My arm's tired already.
Yeah,
And then I need to punt it as far as I can.
Why do you keep wanting to punt
You said
it?
drop kick.
No
it.
one ever told you to
Drop
punt
Drop
it.
kick. What?
Drop kick, Geiger.
That's even more.
That was
confusing.
earlier. That was that was just a possible thing you could do.
a
But
possible
not
thing.
after you've already.
Oh,
Okay.
once you've got it by the tail, Geiger, and you've lulled it,
Yeah.
you just need to smash it against a
Yeah,
rock.
you don't
a
need to
bunch of
punch
times.
You
it at
could
that point.
possibly
You don't need to kick it.
give it a power bomb. You could possibly do whatever you want with it. Give it the
Chad,
people's
you're up
elbow.
first.
You could possibly get a hand grenade, shove it down its throat. Why are we doing this to the poor beaver? So you want the pelt or something? What was it? I guess
it doesn't really say.
I don't know. It just said catch and kill a beaver. I guess you're starving and hungry.
Yeah. So the problem with this tip is they proceeded to list off a bunch of things that I am not physically capable of doing. Like, I cannot grab a beaver by the tail. I cannot kick a beaver. I can't even drop kick like a target on like a mannequin or something. You know, like I'm not sure.
You've tried?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not actually sure I know like how you would do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm just all I'm picturing is like a jump kick. Like I come in through the. Yeah, this would be a disaster for me. I am definitely getting killed by that beaver, probably more quickly than the kangaroo would kill me. So yeah, this is
Deprive.
Yeah,
deprive.
no.
I almost said defile. This is a defile.
Come all over the beaver's face. That's one way to do it. Swing it around till it's nice and calm and fuck it in the ass.
All right. First you neg the beaver, right? Like tell it that its hair is a little sloppy tonight.
Its hair. Wait a minute. When you see a woman,
don't make eye contact. Don't make eye contact. All right.
When you are trying to neg a woman, you tell her hair looks sloppy.
I don't know how to actually neg.
That's a really weird insult.
I don't know how to neg.
And you knows I like some sloppy.
Gag, what do you think?
So wait a
Slap
minute.
it up, boys.
Am I in the army? Do I just have a gun? Can I just shoot the?
No, you're
Oh,
you.
it's me. It's me. I don't have a gun.
Oh, I forgot the last part. pull out your assault rifle. Blast the beaver into 40 pieces.
Well, it makes more
Call
sense.
in an airstrike. Nuke the radius around the beaver's dam.
I mean, I think the hardest part's going to be getting to the tail. Because it's going to be like thrashing around and angry. Maybe I could just kick it in the face. Maybe I'll try the drop kick first. Does it have to be a drop kick, or can I just like soccer kick it right in the mush?
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I can do that. or like throw a rock at it. Look, I think I could defeat a beaver is what I'm trying to say, but I don't think I could do it using this move because I don't think I could get to the tail fast enough. I don't think I'm strong on it. The thing's gonna be flailing. It's gonna be like hitting me in the leg and scratching me up, and I might get like rabies or something. So, deprived that.
All right, here's the next one. It says polar bears, like humans, are usually right-handed. So if you must fight a polar bear, circle right. You will probably be moving to its weak side, but you may be in trouble regardless.
Is this instructions for real life or for like if you meet a polar bear in Fortnite or something? You know, like strafe to the right. I'm not doing that. I'm not strafing in real life.
They're approaching this matchup like it's a UFC fight or something. Like he's got a weak lead leg. You should try to take him down. Like it's a fucking polar bear. Left or right, I'm fucked.
I'm pretty sure by the time you see the polar bear, you're getting revenanted by it.
Yeah.
I don't know if polar bears' movements, like it's not just arm lunges, right? It's like entire body lunge to where what
polar bears have
matter.
Mean left hooks. They're just
move to the right so that you can avoid the hook, but you'll still get killed by the giant mouth and huge neck.
But you walked right into his jab, which is the problem.
Are you supposed to like take like a stick or a fish or something and throw it at him and see which one he catches it with, so you know which handed he is?
Polar bear, think fast.
It is funny to think of like a handedness of a four-legged animal. You know what I mean? Like, I never thought about my dog. Is my dog a southpaw? You know what I mean? Like, they use all four legs pretty equally, I think.
Okay.
When it swipes into the river to, like, get a fish or something with? I don't know.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, how do scientists even know this? They measure their fucking penmanship or something? Like, how do they know if they're right or left-handed?
These tips are from the very famous various websites. This may be totally bullshit. But Geiger, you start here. What do you think of this tip?
I think it's fucking trash. Like, on my headstone, it will say he thought the bear was left-handed. I think the bear is not like the bear is not like Floyd Mayweather. It's not surgically, ducking and jabbing and diving and feinting. He's rolling at me like a ball of knives and just smashing into my helpless body and trampling me.
What hand does he spin a beaver with?
It's like oh, look at Rollo over there. He's really ragdolling Geiger with primarily his left hand. I'll be dead either way. I'm depriving this. Yeah.
Chad, you agree?
Do you think like with the kangaroos, they always drown you with their right hand? So you got to move around the puddle to the left to avoid that. I think here's the problem with this one is that like, all right, let's assume this polar bear is right-handed. Great. A left-handed swipe from the polar bear, the weak swipe, is still going to rip me in half.
Okay, hold on. One swipe from a polar bear is not going to sever your body completely.
I don't think you understand how frail and weak I am.
Fucking polar bear playing Fruit Ninja with Chad. Slice his like whole torso just slides off. Kill Bill style.
But having said that, this if I'm gonna die by polar bear, I would want it to at least be fun, and this seems like a fun way to do it. Like
fun.
Try to juke it out a little bit. So I'll give this one the middle, which I think was survive.
Okay. Good luck with that.
You're giving yourself survive, huh?
All right, here's a non-animal one. We talked all animals, but this one: if your car is moving and you need to get out quickly, like
I don't know if shitting 100 feet away was it was animals.
It was to keep animals.
Yes.
Right.
Sorry.
If your car is moving and you need to get out quickly, like let's say the brakes are out or something, always put your foot out to reduce your speed before allowing the rest of your body to tumble out as well.
The Flintstones approach.
While you're still going to fall out and hit a hard surface, since your speed is reduced, chances are the physical injuries will be reduced. Okay, so this is your car's out of control. You're
Uh-huh.
gonna put a foot to the pavement.
And my injuries will be reduced. My ankle will be reduced to shards of bone.
All right, Chad, what do you think of this one?
Yeah, this this will reduce the speed of a speeding car in the way that like me firing a bullet into the moon reduces the orbital trajectory of it. You know what I mean? Like
Is there a speed even? Like, let's say 10
1
miles
mile
an hour.
One.
Like, that's
yeah.
not helping anything, even if it's going slow.
I had to pick up my family recently from the train at like a late hour at night. They went to the Taylor Swift concert, and we get back to my driveway, and my wife, I love her dearly, but she still does not know our garage code and could not get into our garage because our clicker wasn't working. So I irritatedly got out of the car to go help her, but realized I had just put it I had slammed it into neutral, not park. So I looked up, my car's rolling, so I had to Fast and Furious jump in and hit the brake, which I did successfully. You're welcome. Pretty fucking cool. But I tried to I did the one leg on the ground, one leg on the pedal, and the one leg did not win. I'll tell you that. I just kept dragging me down. That was 1 mile an hour maybe. So I'm questioning the veracity of this tip.
So what are you going to give it, Chad?
Yeah, I mean, even in neutral, at a standstill, my legs are not enough to start the car's movement in any direction, let alone stop movement. I think if the car's rolling, I'm even outside the car's rolling at me, I have two legs braced. It is still going to, at 1 mile per hour, slowly bulldoze me over. So this isn't working for me. This is a deprive.
Geiger, you agree?
Yeah, look, the only times I've ever jumped out of my moving car is when I ghost ride the whip down the Arlington.
You are
Heights
famous
Road.
for that, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, when I would just get out and just look like a big fucking dipshit.
Is there any way you get out of a slow-moving car and dance, and then someone looks over and thinks, that guy's ghost riding the whip, or they just think that you're fucking on meth or something? And...
that guy's doing whippets. That's what they think I'm doing. Yeah, no, they probably, they know my reputation in the streets, as the guy who got his ass kicked by a right-handed polar bear. Hank Kerchief drove by with the prom queen and just flipped me off. They're like, asshole, get out of the road.
You're like, oh, the driver's side is on the right side, so I will strafe around to the left of this car as I dance around it.
Okay, but you know what? I think
yes.
Look, I can live. I'll take a little grain of help from this tip, only in that you could live with one or both legs shattered. People have done it. Look at Professor X. But primary example,
to stop a moving car.
with his legs. That's how he discovered his actual abilities with his mind. He's like, well, my legs didn't do shit against Magneto's car. But and then he and Wolverine ghost rode the whip around his little wheelchair thing. But I cannot survive without a head. So and I think if I just tumbled out of a moving car, moving any sort of decent clip, I'm much more at risk for smashing my brain. Now I still might do it if I use my legs, but maybe if you just at least try to land on your legs, it gives you a chance to brace, scream, oh fuck, I broke my legs, and then roll a little bit more gracefully. So I'll say survive.
All right, so maybe this one will be helpful. It says if you're in the middle of a house fire during a fire, right? So your house catches on fire, you're stuck in there.
Circle left.
Right, fires are primarily right.
Poop on the fire.
Crawl with your feet and legs in front of you. Do not stand up or run.
Like a crab walk?
Don't stand up and run, or else you could inhale smoke, which will land you in the hospital even if you do get out. All right. So Now, I know you're supposed to stay low to the ground, right? But this
Mhm.
person says you're better off to crawl feet first, which feels like would really slow your progress.
Is that because if you run into some danger, like your foot runs into it instead of your face?
Yeah, I
You
would
know?
guess so.
Yeah.
Hmm. Or something that were to, I don't know, fall.
Or
I don't know.
this was written by like the woman from The Ring or something where she comes out of it and can crawl, crab walk really fast.
All right, Guy, could you find some logic to this going feet first? You were once a volunteer fireman for your
Yeah.
local newspaper.
Did they
Yeah.
teach this?
No, if you recall, we all were on our hands and knees going forward and then grabbing the foot of the person in front of us, or like, because you do one hand out and you feel the wall, and the other hand goes out into the air to kind of try to see if you can find a body. So
you dragged a body out. I remember.
I did drag a body
Just
out.
dragging it down the stairs and whipping it around. Right?
One
Like a
thing to
beaver.
do is not stand up and walk downstairs. You actually don't want to do that because I got drilled in the old noggin. I think it makes some sense, but I also think like you're in a fire, right? There's a lot of
Oh,
smoke,
hell yeah.
and you're going to be like that is highly inefficient to be crab. I can't crab walk for more than like 10 seconds before my arms are burning. Maybe literally in this case because I'm in a fire. Like I think I would have to like you'd get all that smoke in your lungs. I would just crawling makes sense because you have more control and it's more. You could still kind of like not lead with your head. You could still put your hand out in front of you, but crab walking, it doesn't. That seems dumb as shit. I just think that it would take you way too long to get out. So I would not crab walk now. I'll give
Jen?
that a decline. No, not decline.
Deprive.
Could it be that you're just supposed to like scoot on your butt? You know what I mean? Like you don't have to necessarily bridge up like a gymnast. You could just be,
Yeah.
I mean,
scooting
you
along.
probably want your head down, right? Because then if something
Mhm.
hits you on the back
Yeah.
of the head instead of the face. So are you supposed to crawl feet first, head down? You try that.
Feet first, head down. That's the way we like to crawl.
My body's twisted 180 at the waist like an old GI Joe.
Well, Chad, how did you avoid fires when you were part of that 20-man human centipede?
20, man.
Yeah. It was real long.
Yeah. I didn't have to worry about things on my head because there was just a giant ass blocking all
That's true. Yeah.
the debris.
That's how you can shit 100 yards away without leaving your tent.
Well, one of you can.
Hey everyone, we need to avoid bears finding our camp. Quick, let's human centipede.
Avoid the human centipede's 20 left hands. Circle right.
I will give them credit for at least acknowledging that you should be low to the ground. You get some partial credit there. So I'll give them a survive.
All right, 2 more quick ones. This one says simply walk into water until you're waist deep and then kneel about 10 inches to a foot and pull your shirt out in front of you to use as a net. Then start spitting in the water right in front of your body and wait for the minnows to swim up where you're spitting. Okay.
Why?
So your dinner is
Minnows?
minnows.
Okay. Catch 200 minnows to satiate your hunger. The fuck?
These sick ass minnows are kinky.
Also, what's the finishing maneuver here? Wrap your shirt around a belly full of minnows and sprint back to the shore? They're going to swim back out, you dipshits.
Is this inspired by like how goldfish eat or something? Like, is this a trick that some small fish uses to lure minnows? The spitting?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's this guy's got a minnow kink. Minnows
You
are
can't
into
spit,
it.
you minnow.
I was just about to say that.
So, Chad, you think this might be helpful? If you're really starving, you're gonna eat a fistful of minnows.
Yeah, and then I'm still gonna be starving. It will not change anything.
Pocket full of minnows.
You
Take off your scales, you minnow.
Okay. I
Mhm.
Jesus Christ.
4 inside jokes in a matter of 30 seconds.
Stupid shit. The thing is, this one won't actively harm you like many of these other ones potentially could, right? Like,
Right.
worst case scenario, you've just got like a shirt full of water. Don't let any kangaroos in your shirt while you're walking back to the shoreline. But you're gonna look like an idiot. It's not gonna be very productive. But maybe there's an off chance that like you happen to get like a nice, salmon or a bass as a side effect. So I'll say this one's a survive.
Geiger?
Pull your shirt out and net a largemouth bass. Press it against your chest and walk back to the shore. Whoa! Oh my God. Babe Winkleman over here with his impressive trophy bass collection that he pressed against his nipples.
I think the only bass I'm catching with my shirt is a big mouth Billy bass. That's it.
Yeah.
Put me in the water. Wrap me in your shirt.
Don't wrap the shirt.
All right,
First,
Geiger,
you
gonna
gotta
be eating
spit
minnows?
in my mouth. Yeah.
You be eating minnows later that night? Later that night, indeed.
Indeed. Yeah, look, I like to fish. I do not like to fish this way.
I mean, you pulled Babe Winkleman out of the vocabulary. So.
Yeah, exactly. Here's my problem with this, and Novak, you've seen this in action several times, Chad, I think to an extent. I do not like getting into water. I don't like walking into water. I'm one of those guys that I don't like cold water, so even getting waist deep, it takes me a good hour. So this is going to take way
You're
too
gonna have to
long.
catch minnows in the cuffs of your pants or something.
Yeah. I'm going to have to wear parachute pants so they swim up my legs, and then I clutch them against my nuts and walk back. I still also do not get it. I don't know how I'm supposed to wrap them around and trap them long enough to get up to back to my feet and back to the shore.
You don't know how many minnows there's gonna be. There's gonna be thousands of them.
Yeah. If there's this many, I could just wade into the thing and just grab them by the fistful and chuck them on land.
You can be a minnonaire. Is that a thing?
Yep.
Yeah.
It is a thing.
Why don't I just wrap up this rating real quick? So no, I will give this a. What's the bad one again? You literally just told me 30 seconds ago. I'm depriving my family of minnows. Also, I don't want to have to fucking cook 1,000 minnows, and they've all got little tiny bones. It's not even a good meal.
All right, the last one. Now, if catching minnows is going to be a problem, this is a different, better way to catch some food.
Wow.
It says
Honey
you
pot
can
them?
use your shoelaces to make something to take down prey. It's really easy, as long as you're able to find a stick. They can use the shoelace as the string part of the bow by tying it to either side of the stick, and then take down any animals that come your way.
With what? Where's the arrow?
You gotta make
The other shoelace?
Let's say you did have an arrow. I think there's still problems.
Oh, don't worry, honey. I just gotta defrock my Air Jordans here, and I can fucking Robin Hood that puma out of the fucking off the mountain. Don't worry about it.
Look, it's easy. All you need is a shoelace and an AK-47, and then you can take down all the animals.
Are you going to be, which is more likely, that you are Legolas by doing this, or that you become leg-o-less by putting your foot out to stop a car?
I will be the size of Gimli by the time I'm done stopping that car.
All right, so Geiger, last one. What do you think here?
Yeah. Look, it
You
would
like
be
this one. Come on.
Yes, it would be undeniably fun to like make a homemade bow and arrow and try to
Undeniably.
undeniably wander around the in the forest with one loose shoe, a bow and arrow, and try to like hit a rabbit or something. That'd be fun. Now, if it was more for like self defense, that would not be fun. That would be death.
Well, yeah, if you had a
So-
bow and arrow. But do you?
You have a bow and shoe. I've gotten Adidas and string. I will say it'd survive it. It could be. I'd like to see if that could work.
All right, Chad, you agree?
I mean, you'd have more luck using the shoelace, like trying to like choke an animal out with it, you know, like sneaking up behind them and wrapping it around their neck.
A Garrett.
Yeah. Like you always see people do in movies.
Uh-huh.
The fucking hitman of the forest out here.
Wouldn't I just use my hands if I could get that close?
I'm like riding around on a grizzly bear's back, choking it out with my shoelace.
Come on its left side, though.
Right. That seems like more successful. This is they don't even supply the arrows or even ideas for an arrow. Like pick up a rock and use it as a sling. You know,
Find
like
an
they don't
arrowhead.
right. So yeah, this is a deprive.
Our final snack. It's the Dill Pickle Pretzel Sticks. What's the brand here? I don't have the box.
Pop Daddy Pretzels, pretzel sticks, made with flavor so bold it's lip smacking, finger licking goodness and crunch. Made in Michigan. Yeah, so I guess it dill pickle flavor.
You guys like pickles?
Yeah, I
Nope.
like pickles. Oh, I like dill. I like the one kind of pickle. I don't like the little bread and butter pickles, those sweet and sour ones. Those are bad. But I like a regular old big old dill pickle.
I like a plain pickle fine, but I don't like to put it on burgers and things because I think it kind of overwhelms the flavor.
I agree. Makes them like too wet. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Do you taste all that pickly?
I'm very little. Yeah. There's some there. It's like kind of mild.
I do like to stick my pickle in the lake and see if I can get some fish to come around.
Take a pretzel stick, attach your shoelace. You got a bow.
Yeah.
All right, these do smell very pickly.
Smell
Just
more than
don't smell.
taste for sure.
I agree.
Do you guys normally snack on pretzel sticks in general?
No.
I do like pretzel sticks. Actually, if I do get pretzels, I do get these like the small, straight sticks as opposed to like the twists or anything.
Yeah, they are much easier to eat when they're in this form factor.
I don't mind
Um,
pretzels, but between the salt and the like dryness, it's just too. I get too thirsty eating them.
I find always having something to dip, like we take a trip to a apple orchard every year. It's on like a farm, and I always pick up this honey mustard they make. Pretty good with pretzels. So always having something to dip them in, I think, is pretty good. A French onion dip or something. So, I think it's pretty tasty. I think the flavor goes really well with the pickle, with the pretzel, I mean. And there's still a little bit of salt on there. I think if I had to pick out flavors for pretzels, I've had all different kinds. We've had a few on the podcast, like the Hanover brands. They make them way too strong with that flavor. I think we had some ranch ones that weren't great, some mustardy ones that were overdone. I think this has a deft touch. I think they are pretty tasty. And normally, I'm not super into pickle stuff, but this is very tasty. I could see eating this whole bag. Maybe even buying these at some point. I'm going to go out a limb here. Give these a love dat. This is, surprisingly very good to me. Geiger, what do you think?
I agree. I like them. I don't, like I said, I don't necessarily know they taste that much like pickle. Like they're good because they're salty and they have a little bit of sourness to them, which adds to the bite of it, which I like. So I think they taste good. And it's a well-made pretzel, but again, Could I have picked out pickle as the flavor? Probably not. That
So
said,
you're downgrading for flavor accuracy.
a little bit, yeah. But having said that, I'll give them a solid like that. I think they're tasty, and I would eat them again.
All right. 11 to like. They've already ran away with the competition over these hashtag 2 popcorns. Chad, what do you think?
I expected not to like them because I'm not a pickle fan, but I think the fact that the pickle flavor is so subtle here is working in their favor. Novak, you are right that many times they come on too strong with the flavor on these things, and it ends up like smelling rancid or just off-putting in general. This is a pretty well-made pretzel, right? It's like crunchy. The pretzel itself has good flavor. The only place I really taste the pickle is if you eat a lot of them, it's kind of there in the aftertaste. Like it sort of builds up a little bit after a while. And I don't really like that. But it is so subtle that I don't think that's enough to really knock it too hard. I will slide it in just barely into a low level like that. They're pretty good.
All right. 11 2 likes. We do recommend these dill pickle Pop Daddy pretzels. Geiger, where can the listeners contact us?
If you ever entered a spelling bee and won or lost, if you are Hank Kerchief out there, get back to us. If you've ever tried any of those survival tips, tell us about your bountiful blouse full of minnows, or your one-on-one 12-round matchup with Joe Frazier the bear, or anything. If you've been able to make a successful bow and arrow out of a shoelace and ostensibly some other arrows that you got from somewhere, you can reach us at youtrydat@gmail.com. We're on Facebook with a You Tried Dat group. We're on Twitter, hashtag You Tried Dat. We're also on Instagram and YouTube. We would love it if you reached out, let us know what you thought of the podcast, suggested a snack for us to try, asked a question for a mailbag, something like that. If you do enjoy the podcast, we'd love it if you could leave us a review or some stars or whatever apparatus you have to indicate that you enjoy it, and also pass it on to your friends and family to see if it was something they would also like. So thanks for listening.
Okay, real quick, if you're lost in the woods, you have to get food in some way, right? You only have what's around you. You do have shoelaces, right? You are wearing shoes. Cool. What is your actual method of getting it? Are you going to try to put together a fishing pole of some kind? You're going to wade out and hope the largemouth bass swims into your shirt, or what are you going to do?
Look around for some berries or something, I guess. Or
well, how does that have to do with your shoelace, though?
Well, the berry's high up on the tree. You like whip the shoelace up like a lasso, pull down the apples or whatever.
Walk up behind the tree and start choking it till the berries.
Give me those fucking berries.
Because isn't that dangerous too? Like, dangerous, like, well, you're not supposed to eat certain things.
Yeah, like mushrooms for sure would be dangerous. There are, I guess, some berries that could like poison you, but I mean,
I'm not supposed to eat Taco Bell either, but I do it sometimes.
Geiger, would you just lay down and die?
All right, you're in the woods. There's no food. Well, fuck this, and I just like smash my head against a rock and find the nearest kangaroo and have them drown me. I don't know. Like, yeah, I would definitely be fishing. I definitely think I would try to fish because yes, you could take your shoelace, you could find a worm, you could. I guess getting a hook would be the hard part. Maybe like a sharp twig that was sturdy still. Oh wait, hold on. Do I have an AK-47? I could riddle a bunch of minnows through with AK-47 bullets and try to eat what's left.
Just load those minnows into the AK-47 and fire them into your mouth.
Wow. Yeah, good.
Chad, no, get the gun out of your mouth. Oh, it's just dinner. Don't worry.
All right.
That's going to do it for this time.
We'll be back next time. We're trying out 3 brand new things.
Yep.